Today we're going to talk about daily life as a minimalist. Hello, my name's Rachel. I do videos all about decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year. Today we're going to talk about my daily life as a minimalist and kind of 5 different things that I think are really key to help me to live a more minimal and intentional life. So for me, minimalism has really changed my daily life. Because I suffer from chronic fatigue, it means that I'm always quite tired, and which is probably me understating it really. I'm tired all the time. But for me, it means that it's harder to keep on top of my everyday kind of items, because for me the priority is work, because I need the money to pay bills, and so all my energy goes towards that. And by the time I come home on the end of the day, end of work, I do not have energy to do anything. So anything that I can do to make my life that little bit easier is really helpful and really key to me. So for me, I have come up with loads of different strategies that make it just easier to manage my daily life, and minimalism was just kind of perfect for me. So when I started decluttering, everything felt calmer, my environment felt more relaxed. It meant that it was easier for me to switch off and kind of regulate my emotions, my mind, etc., so that I wasn't feeling cluttered and stressed, because that can add to the fatigue. So for me, it's about creating a daily life that's really manageable and really relaxing and really calm. So these are my 5 different things that I do to help my daily life as a minimalist, to make it a bit more easier to manage. So the first thing I try and keep on top of is cleaning as I go. This means it's like the short 1-minute jobs, like putting the dishwasher on, or clearing the plates at the end, or hoovering, or anything like that. I kind of try and do it when I notice it. As soon as I notice it, that is something I need to do straight away, so that I am kind of keeping on top of it and not making it a bigger job. So I try and always make my bed first thing in the morning, so that it's not something that I then come back to at the end of the night and think, oh, that just reframes my mindset to think, oh, it just doesn't look as comfortable or as cozy. So I try and do all those little jobs, and taking cups out to the kitchen. Every time I walk to the kitchen, I make sure that I'm taking things with me. If I get post that comes through, I'll deal with that straight away. So I kind of do all those little jobs that are kind of really small and minimal. I do them as I go. So I try and clean the surface, clean the dishes as soon as I finish cooking, so I don't have to come back to it. So it's just keeping those little jobs kind of done, so that they don't become bigger things to have to then try and come back to. So for me, that is a big mindset shift of doing things as I go, because I used to be very good at just kind of leaving it and then dealing with it later, and psychologically that just made it a bigger task for me, and then I didn't want to do it. So it's all about that motivation and keeping going. So that is a really easy way of making it a bit more manageable and quicker to do. Second thing I do daily is know when to say no. It's not easy. I am a yes person, I'm a people pleaser, always have been. I've always said yes to everything, wanted to do my best and gone to anything I was invited to, and now I know when to say no. And it was the fatigue that got me to do that, because I realised that I needed to prioritise more important things. So I would prioritise key people that were really positive and supportive and encouraging for me, so that I was kind of surrounding myself with all those positive vibes that I was looking for. I think for me, if I was doing too much and going to things that I didn't feel comfortable going to, then I'd feel that sense of regret and that sense of, why have I wasted my time and my energy? Like, my energy is really valuable to me. It's like a commodity that I just don't have that much of. So any energy that I do have, I prioritise into like important events and things. So I know that I need to rest, and that's really key. I don't fill up my schedule like I used to, because I just find it overwhelming and too much. And I want a calmer, simpler life. I prioritise the things that are important, and anything that is not in that realm, I will push aside or leave and say no to. The third thing I do on a daily basis is put everything back in its home. So everything has a place in my house, and that place is decided by how I use the item, how often I use the item, and what kind of works within those realms. So for an item that I use every day and it may be in the living room, it will be stored in the living room in a drawer that's easily accessible. If it's something that I don't use every day and very rarely use, it'll be in a different cupboard, maybe in a different room, because it's not so important that it's easily accessible. The reason I do that is because then it's easy to get the item out. It's also very easy then to put it back. If I know exactly where it goes and it goes to the same place every time, it is so much easier and so much quicker to tidy up. Everything is quickly done and everything is put away like in a easy reach distance as well. So if I get chargers out to charge like my camera batteries, etc., that's charging in the living room and it's put back in a drawer in the living room. I don't have to go across the house, I don't have to go upstairs into a different room. It is in the same place that I use it. So it really helps to make it easier to tidy away. So it's not such a big job. The fourth thing I do is I make sure that surfaces are kept clear. So this is something that I do on a daily basis. I always go through and make sure that I put everything back and that the surfaces are clutter free so that it feels calmer and more relaxed. So I generally don't store things on different surfaces. So usually things are kept in the home and only got out and used and then put straight back. So I don't tend to let things pile up in places. So try and keep all the surfaces clear, so get in the habit of making sure that at the end of every day it is cleared away so that you are starting afresh each day. The fifth thing that I do daily is I track my spend, and I've reduced my spend. So they kind of intertwined. Obviously you need to track everything you're spending, so I do that in my Go Girl budget planner, and that really helps me to keep on top of it. It means that I can judge on a daily basis if I can do certain things or buy extra tickets or plan travel, because I know exactly what I've got and I've reduced down my spend, so it's really minimal. And I know exactly what's coming out when, and I just keep an eye on that so that I am okay and know exactly what's coming. And that is something that I like to track daily because it's reassuring to me. I don't have to be quite as rigid with it like I used to be. Like when I was particularly hand to mouth with budget, it made it a lot harder. I would check every single day, but I like to just check in every couple of days on where my budget is and if I'm meeting it and nothing unexpected has come out. So I like to just keep a track on it, and not going out spending is really key for me. I don't waste any time like in my daily life doing things like that. I don't just pop to the shops. Everything is kind of a bit more kind of organised and tracked. So there is no like additional purchases that happen. It's one of those things that really helps reduce my anxiety and just makes it easier for me to live my daily life. These are 5 things that I do daily as a minimalist that help me to feel calm and manage my home in an efficient way. Don't forget to leave a comment below if you do any of these things as well, or if you're going to try out another one or try out one of those suggestions. I'd love to know how you're getting on with your minimalism journey or decluttering journey, and I shall be back for more videos on decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year. Take care, bye.